About 4 years ago, when I was a senior in high school, I recorded a video on my old channel of basically a letter to myself. How did people not laugh at me more? This is the part of me when I watch my old videos. This is the part of me that I really appreciate. I like to go on to talk about my schedule. I'm currently enrolled in a share time program where I'm not at my high school for half the day and I'm at my high school for half the day. I'm taking 2 multimedia courses, um, film and emphasis on the audio production, and then an English course because English is required for seniors. And then at my high school, I'm taking wind ensemble and jazz band. I just started playing jazz band this year, and it's quite interesting because it was a new style. Jazz band is completely different for anyone that's not in band. Jazz band is completely different than concert band, and it was like learning music to play music all over again. And I'm doing much better now because I consider myself a pretty decent player. And then I'm taking AP Euro, AP European History, which is actually my first AP class that I've taken all high school, and it's a challenge, and hopefully that'll turn out well. To go on my job, I actually just recently quit my Target job, or my job at Target, that I started in August before the school year started, as a cart attendant slash cashier. Reason I quit, I'm starting swim next week, and I will no longer have time to have that job, and my job was the most expendable out of all my stuff that I need to do because I don't need the extra money necessarily. And I tutor one of my brother's friends for $20 an hour, so that's a better use of my time than minimum wage at a corporate store, a corporate retail store. It's really funny that I mentioned that because I talk about how much time that I needed in my life and how I needed to cut out Target job because I was joining swim. While swim practices were like 2 hours after school. And nowadays, I'll work until 5 or 5 till like 1 a.m. in between classes during the week. High school me and high schoolers in general have no idea how much time is valuable and how you can squeeze so much into your day. And it's just so funny that I talk about how I can't work 4 hours at Target like 3 times a week and how that was just too much. It was too much time. Too much time at this corporate job that I hated. And I just, oh man, jeez. And then talk about tutoring for like $20 an hour is like, ooh, wow, you tutored for 2 hours. Wow, that's so much money. Oh man. Also, it was really cool that I mentioned the part about audio. I hope I touch on my aspirations a little bit later in this video about like what I wanted to do in college because I was so lucky that I knew exactly what I wanted to do in college. I altered it a little bit, but I stayed down the same path and the same major that entire time, and it helped immensely. I got super far ahead because of that. And that's not to say that it's the end of the world if you don't know what you're doing. It just helps a ton if you know what you want to do and you stick with it all. And you stick with it all for years. And it's just really cool that I knew exactly what I wanted to do, even, back then, which was like audio production, video production. One of my favorite activities currently to do on my free time, which it works out that I have a lot of free time a lot of times. I just got finished talking about how I couldn't have a Target job. And then immediately after, I say, we'll talk about what I do in my free time, which evidently I have a ton of. It's like, what? You just contradicted yourself. Oh my god. Is World of Tanks. One of my best friends that you see a lot, Philip. He's been on my Words There Opens before. Me and him and my other friend, and our other mutual friend, love to play World of Tanks. It's not trying to advertise it, but it's a free game and it has infinite replayability. Infinite replayability. Like emphasis on infinite. I played RuneScape when I was younger, and that had good replayability. I love Sonic Adventure 2. It has awesome replayability, but World of Tanks by far has the most replayability of any game I've ever played. And I'm sure there are other games that you can argue, like World of Warcraft, that may have better replayability, but World of Tanks is engaging and free to play, and you do not have to pay to play at all. You don't have to pay a penny, and you'll have the same chances as anyone else. And like pretty much all I think about, unfortunately, is World of Tanks all the time. Wow, nothing has changed there. I still play World of Tanks. I like how I mentioned how I think about it all the time. Literally at this point, it was like what I was obsessed with. I had an app that showed like tank statistics, and I'd like study them and just like memorize every single characteristic of every tank. And I wonder how many times I can say replayability in this one video. But I mean, I completely agree with everything I said. I've played it on and off for 6 years now, and it's basically one of the only games that I play. I play like other games occasionally when other people are on. Some things are a little dated. It's no longer exactly, it's a little pay to win now. There's some tanks that you can pay for that are super overpowered. I wish that Wargaming would fix their crap, but I don't think any of you guys are interested in World of Tanks. Also, there are other games that have better replayability. Like I mentioned World of Warcraft. There's like 1 billion that are out there. In the last 4 years, we've had so many great games come out. But yeah, I still play World of Tanks. I love those big old things. Another thing that another activity is like I like to play trading cards. Obviously it costs more than World of Tanks, and but it's another great thing that you can do with your friends and have a great time, and you don't even have to invest that much money like I do. You don't even have to invest that much money, and it's great. What a freaking nerd. Oh, man. I actually brought a lot of my trading cards up to college. I literally, they took up so much room in my dorm, in my room, all the time, and nobody ever plays with me. Everybody always says, oh, you got Yu-Gi-Oh cards, let's play. And I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And then never play. Literally, it's my complaint. In fact, I got sick of it, and I sold a bunch of them. I sold them for like $480. It was great. I wish I had done that before. Also, that little bit, it's great. It's an old meme with some of my friends, and I just giggled. It was a good giggle. It was a good giggle. Oh yeah, my computer. I'm in the works right now of building my new computer, and I'll put the computer build in the description. It might change by the time I build it completely, but that'll be in the description. So my future self can look at it if that website that I'm going to post still exists. Anyways, you can look at it and be like, hey, that was actually good. And in fact, I'm watching, my future self right now might be watching this video on my future computer, which is kind of weird to think about. He's totally right. I am watching this on that computer. And that's pretty weird. He's right. That's pretty weird that I'm doing that. Also, it's funny enough that I'm actually selling this right now. I'm trying to... My computer setup is a little bloated right now, and I actually have this beautiful thing, this Blade Stealth, that I have like an external graphics card for, and I'm going to make everything look a lot leaner, but I'm actually selling it. But that's so weird that I'm talking about it. It's not even built at this time. Also, I have a girlfriend right now of a couple months, since July, maybe. I'm terrible with these things. And you can ridicule me all you want for not knowing exactly when we started dating. Come on, dude. You gotta remember when you start dating girls, they they care about that stuff a lot, man. You'll learn. You'll figure that out. You have to remember these types of things, even though it doesn't matter as much to you and your memory's bad. But yeah, we went to homecoming twice together, and it was great. It's great. Oh, that was like my first like legitimate girlfriend. What he doesn't know is that he later breaks up with that girlfriend in a Coney Island uh, because he doesn't want a girlfriend when he goes to college. Smart guy, but you got to figure out a better way to do that because I ended up paying for the food. Um, the waitress came by, was like, "Where'd you go?" And I said, "She had a family emergency." Oh man. Aspirations. So this is kind of the section where my future self can look at these aspirations and be like, "Hey, I did this thing, and this is what like, or this is how it changed," and reflect, or even go like, "I didn't do this thing, and I want to do this." So one of the things is to have a lot of friends, and um, when I go to college, meet a lot of people, and keep in touch with those people and form nice relationships with those people. So one of them is I have a lot of friends. Pretty lofty goal there, Kyle. That's real tough stuff. You set the expectations too high. But I think I actually was a little bit worried because I had about 4 or 5 solid friends in high school, but like a lot of acquaintances type of deal. And once again, if I could travel back in time and talk about what I've been through in the last 4 years in college, I I mean, just exceeded expectations like wild. I never thought it was gonna be so easy to meet people and uh, build relationship with those people and grow together and just have so much fun together. And I never could have imagined how easy it was and how wonderful and accessible it was when I went to college. So I passed that one. It wasn't a very high bar, but I did it. I did it. This is for you. This is for you, high school Kyle. Another one is I hope to go to a college where I can go be in their marching band. As I said before, marching band is one of the greatest experiences I've ever had, and it, from what I've heard from all the people I've talked to, is marching band gets even better in college, and I hope that every year that I can, I'll be in the marching band in my college. I am so right. A college marching band is like the cat's pajamas. Just I've had so many amazing experiences. I've marched at Ford Field. I've marched in Spartan Stadium. I've traveled to Miami, Boise. For the basketball band, I've gone to Cleveland 4 years in a row. We went to Spokane, Washington last year. Just some crazy stuff and amazing people. There's so much tradition, group cohesiveness, camaraderie. It's just the bomb. I mean, if you spend, what is it, like 7 hours a week with the same people at rehearsal, just at rehearsal, and then you hang out with all those people afterwards, you're going to become great friends with everybody, and you're going to have a group that works together. So, college marching band was lit. That little quip will age poorly. Grades. I hope to continue my streak of good grades into college and not become a slacker. Like Mr. Strickland says, you're a slacker. And I hope I don't become one of those people. So, grades. In high school, you think it's all about grades. And it is, because you're not going to get into a good college program or university without good grades. But I soon realized with the major I was taking that grades were no longer important. The way that I applied what I learned was way more important. And all the stuff I was doing outside of class was incredible. And just, I grew so much more with the projects I did outside of class than I ever did in class. That's not to say that I didn't care about school. It just, grades weren't as important. I wasn't trying to get all A's. I did graduate with honors, though, with, I think it ended up being like a 3.51, which is respectable. I had the little honors cord while I walked, which was, I felt like a accomplished scholar walking across. But Yeah, honors college. And one of the colleges that I want to attend, I competed to be in their honors college. And watching this, I hope you are still in that. You made it to that honors college, and I hope you are still in that honors college for the future me. This one actually did not happen. I did not make it into the honors program. My essay absolutely blew chunks, and that was the competition I was talking about. Is an essay competition, and it blew chunks. And I don't know how I didn't know that. I must have realized once I got denied. And I did go to the school that I was talking about, Central. You all know that. But I'm actually really glad after I realized when I came here, I'm really glad that I didn't get into it. The main reason I wanted to do it was so I could live in the specific honors college dorm, so I could be around people that were more academically inclined instead of, I had this idea that everyone in college was going to be super obnoxious and really fratty and just party all the time. And I was just so wrong about that. And I thought I wasn't going to be able to focus. I thought I was going to be like, the dorms are going to be loud all the time and I wasn't going to be able to do homework. And I lived in a dorm that was right by the honors college dorm, and it was away from everything else. And I really regret doing that. It was okay. It was fine that happened. It was just, I'm glad I didn't get into honors college because it would have been a lot of stuff that I didn't care about. The only thing that would have been a good benefit is you can study abroad for, I don't know if it was free, but you get like scholarships for it. So that would have been cool, but it definitely not worth the work. It's not really a sad thing. It's just kind of how it is. Oh my god, this took like a really sad turn like at the end. I feel like this is really kind of depressing. I think that was a little peek about who I was and where I was.